Yep, we can. We're back with Ben Dell, part 2 today, or second half. This is webinar number 96, November 29th, Friday. And Ben's going to talk to us about WinDev RAD. WinDev, right? Not WebDev. WinDev. Yep.
Yes, WinDev.
So here you go. Well, take the time you need, and we're all recording.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a long time, and I've been busy with non-WinDev or non-programming issues for the last few weeks. So I started looking around for making my life easier when I start new projects. I'm in a very fortunate situation of having to start lots of projects. Some guys, they sit with a project and they're sitting with a project for 5, 6, 7 years and they never start a new project. And due to our work that we do, we start lots of new projects. So we're always looking for ways to make that start easier. So one of the things which I'm just going to backtrack a bit on how RAD is used in WinDev, and then we're going to go and create our own RAD project which we can use ourselves. When we work with a WinDev project, we can go and create a new project, and let me just do this RAD 1. Let me quickly create a new project here. And then we'll quickly analysis, do it like that, and we will go and select one or two tables or files like they call it. Okay, so we've got a project and we've got an analysis. Now we can go and create a RAD project on top of our analysis, and we can go and create a full application RAD. We go to workshop, full application RAD, and it gives us a lot of RAD project templates from which we can select. Simple RAD, I think most people will recognize Simple RAD as things they've been using without really thinking about it. Then there are a few other RAD projects with their own templates and their own GUI pieces. And then there is something which PCSoft called 11 compatible, which brings us more back to something like Clarion. Now I'm just going to, as an example, use RAD and go create a project on it. And we're going to project with a standard interface or MDI interface. I love a standard interface. MDI interface, sometimes it still sits with the same issues which Clarion had with the multiple close buttons and stuff like that. So I love the standard interface. Then we can go and ask for simplified programming or procedural programming or object-oriented programming. And object-oriented programming is with local procedures for the windows or procedures which are not local to the windows. And we can tell it to actually create the files that exist, and also code for automatic refresh of windows. So if a control's value has changed or things like that. So what I'm going to do, power of, okay, if we look at procedural programming or simplified programming, we're looking at something similar to Clarion's legacy templates. And then object-oriented programming, if you guys see it, you will see, ABC classes. Okay, so let's take that. I'm going to include user groupware now, and then we can, on top of the red pattern which we are using, we can still apply a skin template. Okay, I'm not going to apply a skin, I'm just going to leave it standard for now, and then we can configure the windows. Now some of the Clarion guys can start thinking back. We had something similar in Clarion at one stage called the Wizartrons, which was later abandoned, but in any case, so we can say what our skin looks like, then proportional scope, and then obviously they've got some tips, and they would tell us what type of database accesses we've got, what's the best in them, and if we want to use W language functions, what are the best choices of accessing our databases, if we want to use SQL functions or ODBC functions. A lot of help for the developer built in to work with him. So, and then we can align the controls in columns, meaning that we've got 2 or 3 or 4 columns of controls on one screen, or we can use tabs like we are used to with Clarion. I like doing that. And which files do we want to read on? And I'm not going to include the help file now. And there we go. So then it goes off and it generates our project for us. And it's created our windows, and it's created our reports, and it's created some classes. Now, have a quick here. It's created a table class called CWD table. Then it's created a form class called CWD form. It's created a vision class, which is the loop, and then it's created a file handling class. So that's why I say, if people start looking at that, they start looking at, oh, ABC templates. So if we go and look at that, let's go and look at the class. So is the record empty? Has it been modified? Read first, read last, read next, filter, free the current record. Those are our file handling classes, which has been generated by the RAD for our form class. New record, next, previous, last, initialization, first, filter, delete record, all classes which are used on any form. So if we go to that, we will see there is our form class. And our file comes from our file handling class. And then we've got certain protected properties. And then open properties or unprotected properties. You can see on the control, it's a file name, key name, the control on the screen, what browser is this being used at, if it's being modified, what is the apply button, and just as the ABC classes work in Clarion, it goes off and it does everything for you. Which means that at the end of the day, if you let's go to a table, here's our table, there's our window. If we go and look at the code, and we go and look at all the code, when we declare that browse window, we declare an object of CWD table, so we can use that class in here. Okay, we raise the exception if something happens. Then we specify the initialization filter and manage the refresh. And obviously that does everything else. and we click on a previous button. We go to look at the code. It's the table object dot previous. And if we go to that, we go to the process, previous, if table selected, whatever the table name is, then we do a table select plus, and then we issue a refresh for the controls. So it generates all the classes for you, which you can use in your own stuff and so on. So that is a project that was generated from a RAD pattern. Say we go and create new windows. We go to a new window. We normally select from here a form with a browse or a looper or a table, but you will see here at the top it says RAD pattern, and that is the simple RAD pattern, which is the default. Go and select any of the other RAD patterns from which I want to select my pattern. I say, Christus project, or that's Christus work, or that's Wolfgang's work. You know, you start identifying people by the way they set their stuff up. It also gives that identity to the program without deviating too much from the Windows standards and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to now go and create a RAD project which would allow us to list our RAD pattern in here and use it for Windows creation, forms creation, reports creation, as well as for new project creations. Okay, where does the RAD patterns live? Let's just close all of this. Okay, I'm not keen on saving that. So where does all these RAD patterns live? They live inside our WinDev environment under personal, they live under personal, not personal, programs, data, models, RAD. And there are RAD patterns that's living there, which we need to work with. If we go to...
Can you put it anywhere, or does it have to be there?
No, it's got to be there. The reason for that is that they go and look for it. They go and look for it there, and if they don't find it, they just don't display it. So let's go ahead and go and create our first RAD project. Okay. Now, obviously, for us us to create a RAD project, we need an analysis. We want it to have a one-to-many and a many-to-many table relationships, and it should have all these tables and forms and reports and stuff. Okay, we will go File, New, and okay, so we will go to Project, and then I will say, okay, this is, let's say, WD RAD pattern. Okay, and then at the bottom here, the RAD pattern, we click on RAD pattern. And I'm not going to use SCM at this point in time. I'm going to follow the programming charter, and I'm going to give it a 0 skin templates at this point, and I'm going to leave it with English. And then one of the things which the project creates for us is our analysis on which we are going to go and base our RAD project, which gives us a one-to-many and a many-to-many and a many-to-one. So this is the analysis with which we're going to be working. And one of the things that we should be doing is we should be creating windows based on all of this. Okay? So if we go and let's say we go and create firstly our form windows. I will go, let's close the analysis because we know what it is. I'm going to go there and create a new window. And I'm using the simple RAD pattern as a template for my own RAD. So I'm going to go and create a form, and the form must be on file, on the RAD file A. Okay, and I just click next, and there is my form on my RAD file A. Now they create a super control and they create all their other controls within that. And I like to take this and put a style to it. Let's see if we've got that style there. I like that style. It gives me a nice little border around my controls, and it makes looks like it's floating and so on. So I like all my programs to have this border on a control like this, and that will allow then all my programs to have it. And I remove the print button because I don't like printing while I'm in the form. Okay, so close that one, and I've just created a form a window for my RAD. Now I can go and put lots of other things in. I can go and put calendar in here. Let's say I want to put a little calendar in there, and that must form part of my template always when I'm busy working. And I want it like that, and I want this one like that, and I want this one like that. Or somebody else might like it at the bottom. And then for each one of your tables, you need to go and create another a window. So I need to go and create a form on file B. Okay, and file B consists of those two fields, which is an ID and a combo box, and I can take that and move it up, remove the print button, take that, choose a style, I like that one, a little closer, remove that print button, and there's my form B. Okay, now the reason why I've got to go and create one for every file I've got is to be able to cater for all the different types of connections, controls and stuff that's in there. Now I'm just going to create those two for now. Okay, and then what I should be doing is I should be going for every table which I've got, go and create a table. Let's do file A again. So there's a table. Let's say I want to move that stuff at the bottom. In fact, I don't like mine at the bottom. I like mine at the top here. New, modify, delete, print, close. And then I do that. And if I wanted to anchor, I can keep my anchoring like that, and then I can go and change this anchor to be there, and I can go and do this anchor to also be there. And then I can take this anchor and I can grow it like that. Okay, so that's for my RAD table 1, and I've got to go and do that for each and every one that is there. Okay. For my visions and for my menus, so if I go and do for a vision, I can use that one as well. And there's one of my visions. Okay, now you can see Win vision that, Win table that, Win form that, Win form that. Okay, so that is how we go about and generate windows and forms for our RAD project. Now I can go and create a new one, which is a blank one, and I can go and insert for that, and that will become part of my main menu. Add a menu to it, and I can add to this menu, I can add after, and that would be RAD file A, and I can go and add submenu new RAD file A. And it's important to keep the names, because the names are being replaced when you are working at at your development time. So RAD file A, RAD file, those names are replaced when you are working in development time. Okay, I'm going through this very quickly. Because this is just the introduction to this whole process, and obviously I can now go and put code behind it. So let's just go to that code there, and if I go there, I can let's add another one here. List RAD file A. So my code behind that would be let's say we want to H reset RAD file A, and then open form RAD file A, because we are adding a new record. And if we just want to list a specific file, or we want to open up the browse, we say open, open Win table RAD A. There we go. Okay, so you guys can see that this is already a project, and you can create your own stuff in here. You can say, okay, the guy always moaning about the little calendar. There's a little calendar for them, and put that to the top left. And you've got a little logo which you always put in So you can go and out of your catalog go and add a little logo. Let's say let's take that one. Okay, so there's a little logo that's sitting there at the bottom, and that will always be part of that, and we can add at the bottom left. There we go. And you can have your name in here and license details or whatever you want to do. Okay. So then what we do from there onwards is we are now going to go and generate our RAD pattern. Okay. So let's close all of these windows. And then we will go to our project and we will generate. Okay, so there's our RAD pattern. Okay. So generate that, and we click on generate, and it's created that RAD pattern for us, and we will see that it's created in my projects wd underscore rad exe wd underscore rad dot pattern. Now we need to go and unfortunately it looks like we have to go and go to that one manually. My projects rad1 exe no, which was wd rad exe. There's the rad pattern. Okay, so we need to copy that pattern and go and paste it in our WinDev environment. So let's go and search for pattern, and we will see that the patterns are lying here. So if we open that file location, patterns are lying in the WinDev 18 programs, data, models, RAD, WinDev patterns. And we can go and drop our pattern in there. So next time that we use RAD, our RAD pattern should be popping up when we're trying to create new windows. Now, due to the fact that I've been so busy, I haven't had a look to see this part which I'm entering into, so I'm just as in the dark as you. So let's quickly go and close this project and restart our IDE. Okay, let's go here and go and create a new window. Why is it not giving our RAD? Let's quickly close this. File. New project. And let's go and create an analysis here. Okay, so let's take those two tables again. I like them. Okay, so let's go and create a I'm not sure why it's not picking up our red pattern now. It's picking up our red pattern on the full project generation. So, okay, let's do a full project generation on our new red pattern. And let's just do one table. I'm not going to do the help. Okay. So if we go then to a form, then you will see there's our form. And remember, to just make sure that it's actually, I created this blue with that. There you can see there's our main window with that. If we go to the table, there's our table with our buttons at the top. And there's our vision. Okay, so it's been giving us now the windows which we've created in our red pattern. So every time that we go and create a project, now let's see if it's picking up our red pattern now. And it's not picking up our red pattern in here, and it's supposed to. And then I'll find out from PCSoft why it's not popping up here, but it's supposed to be putting our red pattern in as well. That's the whole reason for the red pattern. Okay, so that's one of the things that that can help simplify a project when you're developing a project from scratch this time, is you've got this complete red pattern set up, and when it's running and you've created your analysis and you generate your application, you use your own red pattern to generate all your windows and your forms. You can see there was no reports created because we didn't get a red pattern report. And this helps you immensely, like Pete said, a little bit of work up front, getting your red project going, and you can go and open your red project again and go and do changes to it, and then paste your red project back into a pattern and then use that again. So a little bit of work up front can save you a hell of a lot of work during the development of your application. If we go and look at some of the other red patterns, you guys saw that the classes and stuff that was generated. I didn't go and create any classes in my red pattern, but you can go and create procedures, you can go and create classes. As an example, have a quick look at another type of red project which will be created. Let's go to the project and create a full red, and we will take this one here. Let me see which one is it. This one. Let's take this red project.
Ben, are the projects for any of the existing RAD patterns included so that we could actually see how a complete project for a RAD pattern is put together?
No, unfortunately not.
It's kind of what I was afraid you were going to say.
Yeah. What I can do...
That sure would be nice.
Yes. Now, but what you can do is, if you go and create a project on a RAD pattern, you actually have the complete RAD pattern. All you need to do is, if I go and, well, okay, let's get back to that one. Let me write it down. Pattern. I'm going to get back to you now. I just want to finish this off quickly. You see here, it creates this project. Let me quickly run this project for you. Um,
So Pete, are you going to create a Wizatron for web dev?
No, but Warren and I, before his death, had talked about uh, wrapping all my open source into a rad pattern. It's on my list,
Ah,
but
oh, what a good idea. Yeah.
that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe it's because that table that you've selected has different file relationships, so it's looking for one of the other rad names.
and I open that style. Now I see these are all the styles, button styles, static edit controls, combo boxes, tables, everything I like. So I like that slider, that one, that simple spin. Let's just okay. See what? Oh, it looks like you can only select within area. So I like those buttons, and I like those buttons. I can copy them, and I can switch to my style. Come on. There we go. And I can paste them in there. I will replace those, and those are my buttons. So if I go there, and that's my modify button, and I can go and edit him, and I can say that is my default modify button, that is my default new button, and I say, oh no man, you know what, I want to get rid of this, I can get rid of this, so, but I want to go and say, but I don't want that name plus that thing, I want this to be the default one. So whenever I go and it will pop up like that. So then I can save this. And as part of my project, let's go and save that. So when I come across my project, and let's say I want to put a new button on here, and I go and choose a style for my button, I can close that, and these are the styles which I did. So if I want to go and choose a style, you can see these are now my project styles. Now I've just done the buttons. Let's go and put a ribbon on there. And there is the blue ribbon. Sorry, let me just close this up in a bit here. There's the blue ribbon, and there's the single blue ribbon style, which is part of my project. So we've got the red, which we can go and create projects with, as well as create new windows, but I'll follow up why it's not using our custom one. Then we've got the control style, which we can work with, which allows us to go and pre-create all the controls that we want, how we want them, the colors and everything else, and we can use it like that. So none of this right click style and going and sitting and editing stuff here and then saving it and doing it for the next project and for the next project again. Okay, those are two little things which can be used to make our lives so much easier when we are developing new projects. Is a RAD project, using it and creating our styles and using them. And we can obviously use style sheets from different projects. If we go to our project description and we go to style, we can go and select what style sheet we want to use. Yeah, so that's my story. Any questions?
There's tons of questions. so man,
one
the reason
participant.
Why you said you're... Oh boy. So you were saying that the advantage you have is you do new ones all the time. So what you're saying, this is a one-way ticket. So it helps you generate your defaults and all that, but it doesn't. It's not something that if you modify your RAD, that it will adjust things.
No, no, unfortunately not. But if you put your controls into your style sheet and you modify your style sheet, then it will update your project. But from the RAD viewpoint, it's basically like Clarion. If you create a RAD template with Clarion, you go and create the project on that template and it generates. You can go and delete that project, change the template and regenerate the project the same year. Once you've got the RAD project set up, you go and create your pattern, create your project on it. If you're not happy with what it's created, because remember you haven't done anything yet. You just created your project with all your windows and your forms and all your classes and everything. And if you're not happy with it, just dump that project and recreate it. I know that you are, Arnold, you are one of the guys that said, you please don't work in the embed because you are messing yourself around. So if we go and look at this stuff, you know, let's go look at, oh yeah, I haven't created the one on the classes now, but you see these stuff are all created for you, and I showed you the project with which generates something similar to what the ABC templates are. So if you're not happy with something, dump the project, fix the RAD, and regenerate the whole project.
Kind of minimize any kind of embeds. Just do everything within the classes and external components and everything that is in that RAD, right? So
yeah,
when you
see it is a lot of work, and once you've got it done and it's there, that's it. Your next project, you go and you generate. So we do not have the two-way generation with templates or RAD that Clarion has, but it's close.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but I guess my thing is, say I come in and I created all my browsers and forms, and then I go, oh gosh, I need to add another table in this project. If I go in and since then have modified the RAD that I'm using here, that new browse that I put in there, will it should pick up, right? The
it will pick up the new RAD.
Positron, it's the whole thing. Oh, okay. So that's okay.
No, that's okay, because when you do your synchronization here, I'm not sure if I've set mine now, but it normally asks you, do you want to populate from the new control? Okay, let's go back in there. Let's go and create a new control and data file from there, and let's take that one and close that. Save the modified file, synchronize the project. Okay, I haven't got anything there. Okay, I haven't got anything there. Okay, I haven't switched mine on, but there's a setting where you can say at the IDE level that if you create new analysis items, links, that type of thing, then it goes and it asks you, do you want to auto-create the new windows, the new forms, the new tables, auto-create the code for that, even though your project's already there. Sometimes or most times I do not want that. That's why I've set mine off, because I do a lot of new development like that. So it's not a question of you create the project with RAD and then everything else you've got to do by hand. You still get the option to add the rest of all your new stuff in as a RAD windows and forms as well.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Ben, just one other thing. With a RAD, by doing it the way you're done, the advantage is basically what you're saying is that if you want to
talk closer to your mic. Okay.
okay, sorry. I don't know why my mic is so soft today. Do you hear me better?
Yep.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. The thing what I just want to confirm, which I read between the lines, but that when you're using a RAD, you create your OK buttons and all that kind of thing. The bulk of the stuff, you RAD it. And the advantage of that is basically what you're saying is that even when you go down the line, you want to do a next major release and you want to give a good facelift to it, you just go into the RAD and then chop and change there, and then you'll have a facelift across the board. Then all your OK buttons and all the cancel buttons, all the second buttons all look the same, the way you want it.
No, you don't do that in the RAD. No, you don't do that in the RAD, you do that in the style sheet.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I mean, yeah, style sheet, okay. All right, so the RAD
you
is just
do
for
that in the style sheet.
Creating the okay, the style sheet is more the look and everything else, where the RAD is more the form
Functionality.
the lookup functionality. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So the RAD gives you your functionality and your initial look and feel, and then obviously when you create new tables and stuff, you can decide what you want to use it with, and or you can just go with the simple stuff also, and then your style sheet is for your controls and stuff like that. Yeah. So if we go and open
So that's
the style, yeah.
So if you're very careful about it and you make sure that all your buttons and all your tables are used and created by your style sheets without any overrides, when you make a new version with a new look, should fluently just carry over as soon as you apply the new style sheet.
Yes. Now it's a very, very important point what you say there. It's a discipline you've got to teach yourself. Is you mustn't, if you are using a style sheet, you should never go into there and style and go and make changes here. You should go and change your style sheet immediately. Or if you've got the same type of control but it's being used for something else and you want it different, go and create a new style just for that control.
So it's an example like the reference box, unique key or code. You would like to make it like a red number. Instead of making it red override, you go and create a new style sheet, which you call it edit box.
Well, a new style.
Unique.
Yeah.
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 Then you apply that.
Yeah. A new style.
Always will work.
So I would typically, take that, choose a style, and then duplicate it, and then modify it. You see how easy it is, and I just name it what I want to name it, and do the changes to it I want to do, and it's done.
Like this one.
And
yeah.
And the thing is, because it's in the style, it will always be correct. And the thing is, because it's in the style, it doesn't affect the project. It's not like you've suddenly 10,000 buttons and now the project grows by that, because the style is being compiled only the styles that are used in the project at compile time. So you could have a style sheet that has every single scenario you can think of and use it, so that the second time you use it, you just go and select it. So, And that's one of the
Yeah.
beauties of using WinDev and WebDev and WinDev Mobile, is that you can do things once and reuse it all over. And if I do this and I go and I choose a style and I use that one, and we all know I go there and I go and change my style, and I say, you know what, this style is actually not what I wanted. I wanted that one. And then your whole project's updated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
A couple of things. I do this a lot, and it's even more important in WebDev to use styles for everything. The other thing I do sometimes is if you go in and edit a control,
Yes.
and just apply a couple of overrides directly to the control.
Yes.
And I do this a lot of times while I'm playing with the look and feel. And then once you get it the way you want it to look, now go back into your styles, edit your styles, and you'll see, no, we went one too far. Just go into the Style tab. Now, description, Style tab.
Description style, yeah.
Now, now over on the right, see there's an Add Style to the project. Go click on that. Over to the right, see the ribbon bar menu, far right, further right.
Oh, you mean, yeah. Okay, yeah. Add
the
style to the project there, yeah.
Now you can do there, and now once you've gotten all the overrides the way you want, now you can click there, give it a name, and now it's became a style. So instead of going through the project and editing, or through the style sheet and editing, duplicating and editing there, you can do all the overrides, get it the way you want it, and then add that style to the project, the style sheet. So that's another way.
That's another way.
Do it.
There's so many ways.
And sometimes that works better.
Okay, this way looks nicer.
Yeah. The reason I do it that way a lot of times is it's easier to look.
But you can see also the overloads which you've done onto the original style, before you actually.
Right, but once you do the add though, once you do the add though, once you add it, you won't have those overloads anymore. Call this B and press the add button. And then the overloads go away. The end effect is the exact same as your effect. The reason I do it that way a lot of times is because it's easier to see what it's going to look like on the screen versus just editing it in that style where all you have is that little preview.
No, I understand completely, and that's definitely a second way of doing it, and maybe the more preferred way, because all of us, we've got our own little ways and we stick to them.
Yeah, like I said, I do both. Right, I do both depending on what my needs are. The other thing I was going to mention is when Ben showed me that style sheet editor that he brought up earlier a couple weeks ago, he showed that to me on the Skype chat, and I got all real excited until I found out that doesn't exist in WebDev. We don't have that ability.
This interface here, the one that's currently on the screen, unfortunately is not in WebDev,
Yeah, I would kill, because a lot of the things and ease that he showed you because of this, I have to do extra work in WebDev because I don't have that. So I have to do a lot of that duplicating of styles every time and stuff that he was talking about, because I don't have this cool little, I can just set up all my controls.
And what's nice about this interface is you can visually see that all your stuff's the same.
If there was something I'd like to get on 917, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if I get a choice for feature 917, That's my choice.
Yeah. WebDev styles, yeah. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah.
I think that's just about wraps it up.
Thank you, Ben.
And those.
Okay, so like
Very cool.
all our
Very
webinars
good.
which we give,
Thank you so much.
So like all our webinars,
So
we
without
just
further ado,
tease with what's there, and everybody should go and experiment with it. Because what I've done here is not even close to a tenth of what's available with RAD projects, with styles, and there's so much in here that you have to actually do it yourself and play around with it. Okay.
Now there goes another weekend.
exactly. Okay, if there's no other questions, go start the weekend there, Wolfgang. Okay.
Thanks,
I'm going to
guys.
stop the recording now. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Pete,
bye-bye,
and
guys.
to Ben
you.
today.
Great stuff.
Thanks.
Bye now.
Thanks, Ben.